Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, nice to meet you. My name is Mamie. So today I am going to be debunking some common goth misconceptions because for people who are not a part of the subculture, they can have a lot of misconceptions and misconstrued views on what goth people are actually like. So let's get into it. Alright, so I have a little list written here, so I'm going to be checking my little points that I have made throughout the video, so if I'm looking down, that is why. So the first misconception is that all goths are moody and depressed and, antisocial and unfriendly people, and that's simply not true. The majority of the other goths that I have met have been very friendly, very welcoming, very kind, joyful people. And of course, anybody, regardless of whether they are alternative or not, can deal with mental health struggles. And just because somebody looks and, likes a certain type of music does not mean that they have, depression or, any form of mental illness. I mean, they might, but it's not because they're goth. It's, nobody just becomes goth because they're mentally ill. It's a music-based subculture. So, of course, you can have a mental illness and be alternative, but you can also be, the most normal khakis and polo and frat boy and have mental illnesses. So, not all goths are, depressed all the time and gloomy and antisocial and unfriendly. Like, a lot of goth people are very warm and welcoming, I mean, of course there's always crappy people in any group of people, but I would say the majority have been very kind and welcoming to me. Like, all of my goth friends are really sweet people. So the second common misconception is that all goths are Satanists. And I mean, like, LaVeyan Satanism is very different than what people think Satanism is, and Satanism in the media versus what Satanism actually is are two very separate things, but I'm not going to dive into that. You have Google and you can use Google, and I'm not a practicer of that religion, so I don't know everything about it, obviously. But I have met goths who are Christian, who are Hindu, who are non-religious. I would say the majority of us are like atheists or non-religious. Some of them do practice witchcraft, but again, witchcraft is not like devil worship or whatever, like how a lot of people think or how the media typically portrays it. But you can be any religion and be goth. Just make sure that you're not having hateful values, because those don't align with being alternative in any way, shape, or form. Alright, the third common misconception is that goths only listen to goth and alternative music. Now, personally, I mean, you have to listen to goth music to be a goth. It's like saying you're a metalhead when you don't listen to metal, like if you dress the part, cool, if you don't listen to the music, you're not a goth, right? It's like saying you're a metalhead because you wear a patch vest, but you don't listen to metal, right? So goths, as long as you listen to goth music, you can listen to whatever else you want and be considered goth. Like, personally, I really like Leslie Gore, I like Lady Gaga, I like punk stuff, alternative rock, alternative music in general, Elliott Smith, stuff that is very far from being considered goth. But as long as you listen to goth music, listen your heart out to whatever else you like. I think Dolly Parton is good. Like, that shouldn't matter. You don't lose goth points for liking any of that, and you shouldn't care too much about that to begin with. Alright, the fourth point is that all goths are kinky and all goths are into BDSM. And sure, some are, but you cannot generalize an entire group of people. Sure, some do partake in that, others don't. You can be asexual and be a goth. You can, and I'm not saying asexual people cannot be into kink, because that's not my place to say that, as I am not asexual myself. However, you can not even engage in that type of thing and be goth. You can engage in that type of thing and be goth. You can be in the middle and still be goth, right? But, whatever your sexuality is or whatever your libido is, you don't have a certain libido or certain kinks just because you are a goth person. I hope that that made sense. So number 5 is that goths wear the clothes and makeup every single day. And, you know, sometimes I wish I had the energy to do it every single day. Alas, I have fibromyalgia and my energy is very limited. So I typically only do the full goth thing a few times a week if I'm lucky. Sometimes it's once a week. But it really depends on how my body is feeling. But, you know, I don't have the energy personally to do the hair and makeup every day, and, you know, with working, you can't do what I'm doing, you know, and show up to a 9 to 5. Like, you just kind of can't, and it's kind of sad because I wish workplaces allowed for more self-expression, but I don't think we're really at that point yet, and I feel like some industries will just never change. Like, when I have work makeup, it is very natural looking and nothing like this. I don't have big hair. I'm not wearing like a corset. I'm not wearing, you know, like this belt or spiky stuff. Like, I'm just not, you know, because it's work and you can't do that there. I wish I could do it there, but, you know, because of energy and because of jobs and for whatever other reason, sensory overload some people have, they can't do it every single day, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't make you less goth if you can't dress the part every single day and do your makeup every single day. As long as you listen to the music, you are completely valid, and please don't let anybody tell you that you cannot be goth because you don't dress the part every single day, right? So the last common misconception that I see is that you need a lot of money, or you have to be very, excuse me, my heel just squeaked on the floor, is that you need a lot of money to, you know, dress goth or to look goth, like what you consider looking goth at least. And that's simply not true. A lot of my stuff is secondhand. I mean, not all of it, but I would say the majority of my stuff is from Depop. Some of it is from Goodwill. Some of it is from other local thrift stores. I've found some really good things. The key is to just go often and don't get discouraged, but you do not need heaps and heaps of money and a bunch of money in your bank account, you know, to dress the part, you know, to look goth. You know, I mean, looking goth is different to a lot of people, but what people see as kind of stereotypically a goth appearance, you don't need a lot of money to do that. You can thrift, you can DIY, you can get plain black clothes from normal stores and, you know, spice them up with accessories or, you know, kind of rework them. There's a whole variety of things you can do to save money and still get the look that you desire. Alright, so that is my last talking point. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to leave a like, leave a comment if you like, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and I think that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, goodbye!